Flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You know, listen to the Mind of Military Smooth. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And Flight Christmas, everybody, and we're gonna talk about holidays. God damn it, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hee. This motherfucker's got the wrong idea in this motherfucker. You got a bunch of religious motherfuckers who's looking at it in one way, and then you got a bunch of conscious motherfuckers who then consciously got themselves out of a religion just to put themselves into another one. So they still look at it like it's opposing or pagan or some shit like that. But this is what y'all motherfuckers need to understand. When we talk about holidays, this is a holy star worship. So when we think about things being holy, this can either deal with death or birth. But it's going to be the birth or the death of a star, which we all are. So for the most part, you need to understand this. Do not one person, no one person own an energy. I repeat, no one person own an energy. Only thing a person could do, which is a spirit and a body, is take an energy and put an energy signature behind it. AKA, they could make a word or put a meaning, put an idea, put a characteristics, put an expression, put a theology behind that energy signature, and based upon that spirit in that body, that person, based upon how that person is vibrating, he could get a lot of people, or she could get a lot of people to look at that energy signature as something worth paying attention to. Then once they pay attention to that energy signature, the person whose signature that is, they receive all the benefits of that intellectual property. So for the most part, what you need to know is that person was just using the energy, but they put their energy signature behind it. So no person owns the energy. They just put their energy signature behind it. So this is where you can look at people like St. Nicholas, and here's where you can look at things like Christmas. So you'll get a person who's conscious, who took themselves out of the consciousness just to put themselves in another form of religion, whether they know it or not, failing to realize that when we're traveling, when we think about days, months, years, ages, this is giving you a concept that we're traveling through a location. So if we're on a scale right now, how we calculate the location we're traveling is based upon the days. But astrological wise, how we understand as a whole conscious wave is traveling, we will look at it as an age. So that's like, we're traveling through certain spaces. So like I told y'all, stars are water, and water is like you're in fluid. So when you remix that, a star is influence. So we carry out the influence of the energies that we are carrying. So for the most part, that creates what's happening currently, current events, current affairs. So for the most part, when we think about holidays, each holiday represents a current event, something that have happened, that have affected people in so much of a way that influence, aka that water, is still carrying on to this day into many different shapes and forms and ideas. And based upon the civilization, you have a group of high-spirited spirits that may come down and access that energy a lot harder than others. So don't be a motherfucking spiritual hater when you got motherfuckers worshiping Christmas and saying St. Nicholas right now, and then you putting extra shit to it. Well, really, you're just being a St. Nicholas spirit hater. Motherfucker, you could have did the same goddamn shit, and you still can once we all get on this motherfucker subconscious community level that we on, motherfucker. Goddamn it, I'm gonna help all. I'm gonna help us. Now check this out, look. Now, when we talk about motherfucker the holiday itself, I don't care if it's Halloween, motherfucking Easter, 4th of fucking July, Christmas, there was something that have happened when we traveled through this space. And it was something that created a current event. And that current event may have been so long ago that the civilizations now may not know. They just know stories, and the stories that y'all get now may be other spirits who came and participated in that energy after the fact, doing the same thing when they was going back. Like, damn. So what you need to understand, I don't care if you call it Christmas or Christmas, whatever the fucking word you want to motherfucking call it. It doesn't matter what you call it or what person you think people worshiping or not. It was going to be something happening today regardless. That's what you need to understand. It was going to be something happening today regardless. And that's with every holiday. Because when we're traveling through a space and a location, that's time. That's a day. That's a month. That's a year. That's an age. So we're traveling through a space where a current event have happened. And we're still experiencing the current affairs from that current event in a multitude of different ways based upon the accumulation of it. And you know, Christmas is popular. So you know, this been actually is called a tradition now, aka that energy or that energy signature has been going on, that event has been remembered year after year after year. Many different civilizations has been partaking to it with their own theologies and their own ideas year after year and after year. And that's what actual tradition is, not what y'all actually want to call a quote-unquote tradition, what a group of family may like to go towards. A tradition is just an event that happened, and many different stories have been going on over and over again from the same that current event. So that current event happened in this space. So fuck the calendar, the date, December 25th. It has nothing to do with that. That's just us calculating what space we in right now, what space we're traveling in. But the space we're traveling in, there was an event that had happened in this space. So it don't matter what we call it today, it was going to be a motherfucking big ass enormous energy being experienced in one way, shape, or form, in one way, reality or another. So that's what the fuck y'all need to understand. And here's another thing: when we talk about dead stars, this is the day, the after the fact. So it's always in religious aspects, it's always dealing with masculine energy worship. So this is why the eves is not worship. And we all know the eves come before, right? But then before comes the day, right? But we know the day came second. So for the most part, this is why the eves is like almost put on the back burner, and then there's always the day afterwards, and everybody hold on and concealed onto things and on the eve day, and everything gets to be open and expressed and transformed on the actual day after. So keep that in mind too. But what we need to know is when we say the day after and the day, all y'all think that's the first coming. So what was first shall be last, what was last shall be first. So all y'all kind of worship the second coming, and y'all think that's the first coming because y'all came after it. So that's the first thing y'all see. You get what I'm saying? Just like the sun. The sun came second. It's the second coming. That's the day, the daemon, the demon, the whatever the fuck, the light that y'all keep trying to attach y'all spirits to. Y'all spirit ain't the light. Quit saying y'all motherfucking spirit is the light. Your spirit ain't the... You want your spirit to be physical? You want to go in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension and feel your spirit like a goddamn body? You might as well just stay stuck in the 3rd dimension and be a super logical, rational person here who don't believe in the spirit. That's how you would play that out in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. You would think everything physical. So the more down here you keep saying that your spirit is the light in some way, shape, or form, then in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, you're gonna be one of those super smart, logical, rational people in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. Then Archangel Uriel gonna come in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension and be like, nah, nigga, it's two things. You ain't that. I'm gonna be doing the same thing I'm doing here up there. You ate that. Fuck with y'all though. But